Well, we open up Wednesday morning with a whippy, trippy open to the 10-year. When I first turned on my screens this morning, probably about an hour and a half ago, about 4:30, the 10-year was already pushing up over 53. As you can see here on the chart, it hit 53.16. Since the retail numbers have come out, it's completely reversed as the retail numbers were stronger and the economy is humming according to those numbers or according to the traders today. And we've got futures that were red at that point now flipping around. You got the Dow futures up 0.5%, up almost pushing up to 13,500 again. They're 13,495. Again, the 10-year is going to drive the market, just as the dollar yen has been driving the market. And speaking of the dollar yen is at new highs, 122.33. We were stopped out of that trade just over 122, as we said we would when it took out the new highs. So we were back to flat on that. We took a stab, lost about 30, 40 pips, and we're back flat. So again, we've got oil down 0.25%, down to 65.17, but you got to watch the 10-year today, and that's going to lead the market. So again, we've flipped big time. We've flipped down over 2%, 53.16, trading 52.21 right now. The oil futures, again, I'm going to kind of do my run through here in the morning. Oil futures are fairly flat. They've been flat all night. You can see here in the 5-minute chart, just hanging around that 65 line. The NASDAQ is up 10 now, 0.5%. Back up to 1927, skyrocketing here on that retail data here. You can see tick down and then ramped right up. That's up about $10. So all the moves come since the retail numbers, and everybody's talking that the consumer is resilient. I don't know how they're paying for all this. Clearly, it's going onto their credit cards, in my opinion. But whatever works for those traders today. We were oversold. Normally, I'd probably buy that, but we just weren't close enough to a bottom for me to buy, and talked about it yesterday as we closed near 13,400 on the Dow. We could go to 13,500 in a blink or 13,300. So we're back to the 13,500 number, which is an area with a lot of resistance. And to me, again, unless we take out that 13,600 on the upside. And you can look at all the futures are going to be similar to this. It's really not going to be a ultra bullish thing. I'll just pull up a few 30-minute charts here. Here's the SPOOs. Again, we're right back to this breakdown area, 1516, which happens to be the 50% fib line also of the total move. So that's the total move from the recent high to the low down here. So we're right in that range. Nothing is being resolved right now. Traders are having some fun, which is good for us traders because that's what we like to do, make money. So the volatility is good. I welcome it, and I welcome going nowhere ultimately because that gives us opportunities to fade both sides of the trade. The Russells, you can see again, same thing. We've come right down to this key line here at 834. We're at 832.70. Got down to 825 again yesterday, and 845 2 days ago. So we're right smack in the middle. The Dow, same thing. You'll see. Again, we're at 13,487 right now as we speak, up 0.5%, and we're right there on these key lines. You can see they've been drawn. We've been watching them all week, and we'll see where we go after the open. Gold is down a point today, sitting back again at about 652. Not much shaking there. And the dollar yen will throw that up for picture's sake, as we did get taken out of that trade. You can see it broke over our resistance line, 122.17. So we are blown out of that, took our loss, and we'll re-enter at some point, I'm sure. Crocs is up $1. That's our usual trading suspect, 92.34. See what it does at 93. Could have some opportunities again there, as it has for the last few days. Thank you for your feedback, and keep sending your emails to misstrade@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts on trading, what you'd want to see. We're going to try to talk more on the charts. Again, we've talked a little bit about what we put on our charts, but we're going to go into some more detail, hopefully, during some downtimes, and talk more about that. The other thing I want to point out regarding some the home builders yesterday, obviously they were taken apart. DJ USB, due to the higher interest rates. They're approaching 590, and if you look on the daily, they're going back to test that low, 578. As we said, that's going to be a key line here. It could hold. We could go back up if the rates firm up in here and start to go down a little bit. Again, we're playing both sides of it. We are along the 20-year TLT right now. We bought some yesterday. We were hoping for the gap down today. We were heading that way, and then obviously the market flipped around. So this is up today, trading up. Looks about at 82.90 as we look at it pre-market. Let's run through a couple scans here that we typically do. Again, we look at the movers here pre-market. Let's see what is moving on the gainer side, since the market seems to be tipping upward this morning. First, we'll look at the NASDAQ. Hang on one second. We're looking at the NASDAQ gainers. Again, I'm gonna bring up some charts here. Looks like things aren't populating properly here on the trade station on their gainers and losers. So I'm not going to go through this right now, but I do go through gainers, losers on all the indices, most actives, but these aren't working properly right now. So we're just going to hang on for a second. The most active trades so far are the QQQ, obviously, on the NASDAQ. Lawson, I know they had some good news. That's up 10%. It's up a buck. That one's in play. Apple back up 82 cents. Big, decent volume, 280,000 shares. RIM up $3 on 171,000 shares. These are some of the volume movers this morning. Again, we're not having luck this morning looking at our point gainers and our point losers. Looks like the data's a little messed up, which happens at points. So anyways, we're going to wrap it up for now on our opening salvo. On the NASDAQ side, by the way, the losers, you've got NCI down. Again, these aren't right, so I'm not even going to go through these on New York stocks. So I apologize for that, but again, go through your gainers and losers pre-market gives you a good indication. On the New York side, BOT is up a couple bucks. MasterCard is up $2. Again, typical momentum movers. Not a lot of volume here pre-market. MT is up a buck. 64 on some earnings. That's a nice chart. Very strong on its trend here. Again, 10 staying above the 40 here on a daily. We've been overbought a couple times. Comes in a little and then keeps on trucking. So that's a nice bullish chart there on MT. So that's it. Lehman Brothers up a buck on 50,000 shares. BHP Billiton is up up a buck on 96,000 shares. RTP oil name is up $9, 3.5% on 20,000 shares. And here again is that chart, very bullish. Keeps staying in the trend for the last 3 months. So ride that if you're long. And again, we'll be back with some more thoughts and ideas. Futures are pointing upward so far this morning, and we'll be back.